Hey friends, welcome back to the HummingBird Podcast, and in this episode I'll be introducing a new section in the podcast called the Book Club. In this section I will be sharing books that I've had the privilege to read and talk about the highlights of my thoughts and what I was able to learn, and I hope you'll enjoy. So in this episode we'll be talking about The Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'll be sharing a few highlights that I really loved and also share my 2 cents. So first, James Clear states that a habit is a routine or behavior that is performed regularly and in many cases automatically. This is a definition that I had to dive deeply and acknowledge the actions that I perform up until today without overthinking or subconsciously. For example, brushing my teeth or cleaning after myself wherever I am. That happens automatically without even thinking. They all had a starting point. Then that starting point was defined by a specific time, a specific location, and specific tools every single day until they became habits. I found this definition very liberating because it motivated me to do that which I didn't know, to learn that which I didn't understand, and act that which I was failing at, because in time, through practice, I would be an expert. James Clear also states that changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you're willing to stick with them for years. There is a need to see change when we have started something new or different, right? And when we do not see anything changing, we give up or our momentum slows down. This has happened to me a lot of times when I take body exercise challenges. After 2 days, I expected my abs to be visible, and when that was not the case, I looked for any excuse to do anything else other than workouts. And I would find myself saying, I don't have the time. After reading this book, I restarted and took my first baby steps. If you saw me working out the first days, you would think I'm not putting effort, when yet that's what my body could handle. Just small steps. After 1 month, I was transitioning to a higher level. 6 months later, and I am the healthiest I have ever been in my adult life. And the best part is that this point combined with the previous point mentally programmed my mind to wake up every single morning and work out. So that highlight for me that James talked about was when he said habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Everything in life comes down to what you want to make out of your life. If you develop yourself every day, the compounding of it all will be rewarded to the future you. The future can even be the next day. I can't count how many times I have pushed myself through tasks with a proactive mindset, and on the next day when I get to my planner, I realized I did it and then some. You see, time waits for no one, and when I get to cheat a little with time, it makes me so happy. As James Clear well states, time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It's a statement worth living by. Another thing James Clear states is that your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. Learning is a continuous process, a mantra that I have repeated to myself for many years. I enjoy the process of learning something new and adding information to my mental palace. Sherlock Holmes, anyone? But what Jim Quick, the widely recognized world expert in all things to do with the brain, taught me was how to unlearn. The reason why sometimes we find it difficult to consume information is because of the expectations we have on ourselves that we already know. And learning is putting aside the old knowledge and allowing yourself to start again with a blank canvas. It's one of my favorite learning habits when I'm about to start a new book or learn a new technology. And James Clear also states, progress requires unlearning. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. The fifth one would be, if you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. System refers to the processes that lead to the result. And according to James Clear, we need to find joy in the journey. It puts things into perspective in the long term. It resonates with playing an interesting game with no expectations, but enjoying the process and learning along the way. Systems help us focus on what we do and not what we get. The actions, not the outcomes. Another thing that James Clear states is that the ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity. It's required for one to say, I'm a baker, rather than I love to bake. Identifying yourself as a baker is an extension of who you are. It's more likely to stick and become a habit because you've correlated it with you as a human being. So next time when you enjoy the act of reading, instead of saying I love to read, I'm a reader instead. I love to write, I'm a writer. There's something more there's a high connection when you connect that habit as part of you. I'm a writer, I'm a baker, I'm a reader, I'm a CEO. Yeah, there's something ultimate about it. And lastly, what I would like to share that was a big highlight for me was the process of building. Is when James Clear stated the process of building a habit, the 4 simple steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. Yeah. So according to James Clear, cue is a signal to do something. Craving is a desire to do that thing. Response is the habit that you perform, and reward is the end goal of that habit. For example, in the beginning of the year, I knew that I was not physically fit and felt very unhealthy. Cue. I found myself learning and researching on healthy breakfast recipes, exercises that could be done at home easily, and how to incorporate everything to my routine. Craving. With a plan set, I started working out every day 10 minutes in the afternoon and even wore workout clothes to set my mind for the session. I began with full body workouts to target all the parts of my body simultaneously, and I was intentional with my eating. Response. After 6 months, I'm now doing intense workouts, feeling healthier and lighter, more flexible, and my mind is more alert. Reward. So his way of explaining his process or his steps really do work and really make a lot of sense. And I'd really like you to take a habit that you really are having a hard time to practice and try and divide them into those different steps and try and see how far can you go. Can you sense a cue? Can you be able to sense a craving? Are you able to feel the response towards that habit? And is there a response that you're creating towards that habit? And are you feeling or experiencing any reward towards it? And remember, it takes time. It's just small schedules, small moments, small tasks that can lead to that. Yeah. So I'm really curious to know, have you read the book? What's your take? How did you enjoy it? Did you have specific highlights compared to whatever I have shared? And if you enjoyed please share in the comments. And if you enjoyed our quality time together, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It always means when you do. And thank you for enjoying this session. It's our first of many. And until next episode, please take care.